Hi, welcome to another edition of the Alan Rosenberg Show. Had a really good, busy weekend, and it is Sunday. What is it? Around 6:35 Eastern Time here in the United States. And I put my computer on, and lo and behold, I just saw Steve Harley passed away. Now, if you're in the United States, I can guarantee you're saying, "Who the hell is Steve Harley?" Well, Steve Harley was the leader of a band called Cockney Rebel, and then he also did solo work. Pretty famous guy overseas, so kind of goes for two videos because I'm going to do a tribute video because I'm a fan. And also, I recently did a new series called UK versus US where I will discuss artists that are fairly big across the pond but unknown or relatively unknown in the United States. And he definitely suits that bill as well. So, another sad loss, which unfortunately I guess is going to keep happening. Apparently, Steve Harley died of cancer, and he's been performing ever since the early 70s, and I'll go through his discography a little bit with Cockney Rebel. But apparently he announced not that long ago in December that he had cancer, couldn't tour anymore, and here we are, March 17th, and unfortunately it looks like he's passed away from cancer. So another sad loss, Steve Harley passing away at the age of 73. What's my story with Steve Harley and Cockney Rebel? Well, being a bit of an Anglophile and loving to read Q magazine back in the day and Mojo, they used to do stories on him and Cockney Rebel, who were a band in the early 70s, which I'll show you. And what happened was we did a trip to London many years ago, my family, and we were hitting local record stores, and the best one at that time was FOP, F-O-P-P. This is a long time ago. And me and my son went into FOP, and we spent a long time in there, and sure enough, there was all these great albums that you just will never see in the United States, and they were good pricing, and one of them that I found was this, and I was like, I got to get it. And that was a thing called an anthology, 1973 to 1974, Cavaliers Cockney Rebel, featuring Steve Harley. And this little box here is actually 4 CDs. And I bought a couple of these. They had a Tom Robinson one, which I also bought, and some other ones. But this is 4 CDs. And the first CD is the first Cockney Rebel album, The Human Menagerie, which came out actually in 1973. And then it also has the Psychomodo, which came out in 74. That was actually produced by Alan Parsons. And then it's got some extra singles, as you can see. And the disc 3 is alternate versions and mixes, all previously unreleased. And then disc 4 is Cockney Rebel at the BBC, in concert, Oak Ray Whistle Test, and John Peel sessions. So the first album is, again, The Human Menagerie. I bought this 4 CD set without ever hearing a single song because I'm here in the United States and nobody knows who this guy is. And I loved it. I was like, this is really cool, unusual music. This is the booklet of that box set. And I'll just show you some things that it shows there. And I'll show you what the artwork looks like. So there is the Human Menagerie right there and the songs. Now, it's a really interesting album. How would I describe them? Cockney Rebel back then. They have an interesting sound. There's a violin that's almost a lead instrument sometimes, and it gives a really cool, kind of a haunting, different kind of a sound, and it's just great. But they're dark, and they're kind of mysterious. Definitely... It's 73. It's got that glam rock sound, but not really like T-Rex. It's more like glam Bowie likes, a little bit of Roxy music, kind of like a Berlin kind of a sound, a little bit eerie. Definitely to me, I hear Latter Day Pulp and Suede is similar to Cockney Rebel back then. Theatrical, cabaret-like, really interesting. I like them a lot. That first album, The Human Menagerie, there's a song there called Sebastian, and it's 6 minutes and 59 seconds, and that song just blows me away. From the first time I heard it, I'm like, that is something really special. So if you don't know who they are, check out Sebastian. It's kind of a theatrical. It's just awesome. And on YouTube, there's a live version from Birmingham with an orchestra. I get chills. It's awesome. If you don't like Sebastian, you probably won't like them. But there's some other really great songs on that album. Death Trip is another one that's almost 10 minutes long. A lot of really cool songs. They're a really interesting sounding band. Judy Teen is that an extra single, and that's a good single also. Really cool sound. The following year in '74, they released this one called the Psychomodo. They're like they kind of go together really. This one also really really strong. Some people think it's better. I think they're kind of equal. There's a song there, Mr. Soft, that definitely reminds me of the Kinks, like a cabaret version of the Kinks. It's very cabaret, like Berlinish. Very different. I like them a lot, but they could rock. Check out the last three songs on this album: "Bed in the Corner," "Sling It," right, and "Tumbling Down." That's an awesome ending of the album. They're really, really good. Like I said, Alan Parsons produced the second album. They're kind of creepy, dark. He's got a really unusual voice, but it's really good. I like it. I don't know what the lyrics about. I'm not really a big lyric guy anyway, but it's just really, really cool stuff. Some of it actually sounds almost like Ian Hunter, Mata Hoopalish back then. Definitely worth a listen. And that was this compilation. I don't know if it's available. Like I just showed you, it's got music from all four, the first two albums, plus the bonus tracks and the BBC stuff. This is awesome. This was a great pickup that I actually did pick up in London. He actually did have a huge hit. In fact, it may have been a #1, which is called Make Me Smile. This is another album, the best of Steve Harley and Cockney Rebel. And Across the Pond, and there's a lot of cover versions of that song. But this is there it is, Make Me Smile, Come Up and See Me. Maybe you've heard that in the United States. That's the best shot of knowing it. It was like a #1 hit, Across the Pond. Didn't chart or anything here. But these are, if you like it, you may want to check out like a compilation like this, Make Me Smile. And then I also have this one, Steve Harley and Cockney Rebel, Live and Unleashed. It was pretty much Cockney Rebel in name only as they went on. He was the main guy and would have different lineups. But really good artists that I really like. And again, if you like, certain segments of Bowie's career, hence I'm wearing a Bowie shirt, Roxy Music, and if you really like Suede and Pulp, I definitely, in my opinion, hear an influence going back to Cockney Rebel, which was '73 and '74. And Make Me Smile was #1, I think, in '75, I believe. So a really cool, interesting artist that, again, unknown in the United States, but had some, definitely some impact, at least in the early, mid-'70s, across the pond, and never gave up. He had been performing all these years up until December of last year when he had to stop when he announced that he had cancer. And here we are 3 months later, and unfortunately, he's passed away at the age of 73. So my little tribute and a little bit of another UK versus US difference of music. Steve Harley and Cockney Rebel, another sad loss. And if you don't know him, check out Sebastian, check out Tumbling Down. See what you think. If you don't like Sebastian, then that's my favorite song by him. I think it's extraordinary. Go on YouTube and check out Sebastian live with that orchestra in Birmingham, I think it was. Oh, my God. It's awesome, in my opinion. You don't like it, then you're not going to like him. And let me know what you think. And let me know, for all you people outside the United States, do you know him? Have you ever seen him live? Obviously, and I never did because nobody ever heard of him in my country. So anyway, thanks as always for tuning in. I appreciate your loyalty. Some of your comments. I hope everything's well. As I always say, stay safe, stay healthy. And thanks for watching. If you're new, hit subscribe. And I'll see you next time on the Alan Rosenberg Show.